Tetris Effect changed my life. Hi everyone, I'm ImJenPass, and today I want to talk about a game that changed me. I can say that for sure. This is Tetris Effect, a game released on November 9th, 2018, developed by Monstar, Resonar, Stage Games, and published by Enhanced Games, directed by Takashi Ishihara. This game came out for the PS4 and Oculus Rift in that time, and I wanted it. It was like the sole reason I wanted a PS4. Some wanted because of God of War, and Spider-Man, The Last of Us, and all those great games, great games. But I saw Tetris, and I don't know, I just fell for it. I wasn't like a big puzzles fan before. I just played Tetris on like my PC at home in like a web thingy or in school to compete with friends, but like once every like semester or so. But I saw it and I was amazed. I didn't know what it. Of course, I knew it was Tetris, but I didn't know why it looked like that. I just wanted one. I wanted a PS4. I had an Xbox One at the time, and I just wanted a PS4 because of that. Long story short, I didn't get the PS4. But as you may know, later we got Tetris Effect Connected, which is Tetris Effect, but more connected. Sorry. I mean, it was a version made for Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and Steam. So yeah, now everyone had the right to Tetris, and it was in Game Pass, and I played. The game Tetris Effect is based on the effect of the same name, Tetris Effect, which is something that may happen to you if you play Tetris for long hours at a time and you start like seeing the actual blocks in real life, which is scary as fuck, of course. But Takashi Ishihara really liked that thing for some weird reason, and because of that he wanted to make a Tetris game based on music because reasons. But at the time, which was 2002, EA had the rights to Tetris, so he didn't want it to like mingle in all of that. It was after Zen that Takashi Ishihara got in contact with Hen Rogers. Hen Rogers is the guy that made Tetris come to the world. It's, oh my god, Tetris has a whole weird story, and it's amazing. Now in screen you will see a video that I really like that talks about the whole story of Tetris, and it will be linked in the description because it's an amazing story and everyone should know about the story of development of the original Tetris for the Game Boy and you know, PC and all this stuff. Or you can see the movie with the same name of how, a spoiler alert for the Tetris movie, the IP of Tetris solely eradicated the Soviet Union. I'm not fucking kidding. That's the whole plot. It's an amazing movie. I really liked it. I will talk about it later, but in a much longer project. But yeah, Tetris has a weird story. It's made by two guys, Alexei Pahintnov, which I probably butchered the name, I'm very sorry, which is like the actual creator, the actual guy that made Tetris, and Hank Rogers, which is the guy that came in and say, oh my god, this is beautiful, everyone should know about this. And yeah, he was the guy that published it basically, and they're like best friends, and they're really close, and it's amazing. It's an amazing story, you should really see it. But Takashi Shihara was talking with Hank Rogers, and together they were like talking about what Tetris should be and all that. I don't know if they were on drugs or something in that conversation, because the results that they got were weird. The game was 6 years in production. By that time, the VR technology was becoming really popular, and more people were able to like get it. So the development also focused on a VR version, which Takashi Ishihara said in an interview that when they talked about the idea, people thought that it will be just like, oh, you're in the VR and you like grab the tetrimonios. I think it's called tetrimonios. I think I will put the correct word on screen right now. And you will grab it and pull them together and all that. But Takashi Ishihara said that that wasn't the idea, and it never was. And I'm very grateful it wasn't, because it wouldn't be Tetris, you know? We have some VR Tetris experiences before, Tetris 3D for the Virtual Boy, and it isn't Tetris. It isn't Tetris. So yeah, the game came out. I wasn't able to play it at the beginning, and I was able to play it later. The game, basically, it's Tetris, but it's not a bad thing before all that. But it has songs attached to it. There's different soundtracks which are really good and are developed by Hydraulic. And it's like you play the game, and the more you advance, the more loud the music becomes and continues. And some drums or different instruments are synced to when you clear a line, so like the music will continue, making that every time you play the game, the soundtrack will be different, because every time you will have a different set of ceremonials and lines cleared and everything, and it makes for a amazing experience, and a very creative one. You play through all that, and I'm talking about the journey mode, which is the basic mode of the game, like the story mode, which doesn't have a story, but it's like the story mode. You go through like 4 stages of that, which will be, one stage is like you need to clear like 30 lines of Tetris, and you had to do that, and in the best time possible with the most points scored, and then you will have like a good score, because it will be graded from, I think, F to A. I don't think F, I think E to A. But yeah, that's the basic gameplay of Tetris Effect. I was 15 when the game came out. Well, the connected version, I mean. And it changed me. That's the best way I could say. It changed me. It was beautiful. It was a dark night. There wasn't any lights coming from anywhere. It was just the TV and I. I downloaded it. I began to download it at the beginning of the day, because I had shitty internet at that time. And it was like night, and I got comfy, and I grabbed my controller and played it. It's a day I'll never forget. It was an amazing experience. I felt very relaxed. I felt very nice with myself. I felt peace. It was a chaotic world at that time when it came out for Xbox. But at that time, every other sounds or noise in the world just deafened, and it was just me and Tetris. It was amazing how I became a big fan of Tetris that day, and I think I'm still am now, which is good. After that, I cycled through the soundtrack in loop for like a month. It was all I heard that month, and it was amazing, and it was cool, and I loved it. By that time I loved it. It's an amazing game. So you will now say, how what do I think about the game now? I'm 21. I have played a lot of different games. I have played other Tetris games. What do I think about Tetris Effect now, in the year of our Lord 2026? It's still an amazing game. Really, it's great. It's amazing. The environment, it fully encapsulates you. It's you see everything, you feel everything. The soundtrack is amazing. It's powerful. With how it syncs to your movements, it makes it feel more powerful, and you feel it more personal. For this playthrough, I played it on PC and in VR, because the Steam version, it's also compatible with VR, and I have one. So I played it in VR, and it was beautiful. The best way to play Tetris Effect is in VR. You have it. You are basically in the game. Of course, that's the whole point of VR. But still, you can see everything. You can feel everything. You can just sit there and play for hours and hours until, of course, the normal fatigue of wearing VR starts to creep out. But even then, it's an amazing game. I will personally say that this game, it's a must play. If you don't like puzzle games, I honestly don't give a shit, because it's something that you must play. It's an experience. It's not a video game. I will say that this is not a video game. It's an experience. It's a form of art. It was not meant to be viewed along other games. It was meant to view as a piece of art. I believe so. I truly believe so. It may be a little bit exaggerated to say that, but I believe that it's a really beautiful thing, and you should play it. You should, after this video, go to Steam and play it. It's not that costly. And if you have a VR, it's a must. I mean, I was talking like it was a joke before, but if you have a VR, you must play this game. You have to. You have to. You're doing a dishonor to your VR headset if you don't. In this playthrough, I finally finished the game. I wasn't able before because of, adolescence stuff. I don't fucking know. I just didn't finish. But at this time I finished it, and it was powerful. I honestly, I will say that the ending was powerful. It was a full marathon, and if you failed once, you had to restart it from the beginning, which would be like 10-15 minutes of gameplay for me, because I'm very slow. But yeah, it holds up. It's amazing. And if you have a PS5 and a PlayStation VR2, because people like that exist, the game was remade for PlayStation VR2 to be supported with Unreal Engine 5, which would, it's a bonus. It's still an amazing game wherever you play it, but it's bonus. So yeah, I honestly think I said everything I had to say about Tetris. Tetris has changed many people's lives. It changed particularly the lives of the creator, Alexei Pakhnikov. From what I've known, and of course what the horror accurate movie said, it was like a communist society, and to have your things show to the world, it wasn't like a stuff you were entitled to. Your production was not entitled to you. That's some of the communist ideals. I will not going to portray communism as a inherently bad thing, because I don't want to give opinions to that. But because Tetris was so great, and because at the end of the day, Alexei wasn't like entitled to it, he wasn't going to experience all the happiness of just having your product and being enjoyed by the masses. Of course, he was able to. If you see the movie, it's because he single-handedly destroyed the Soviet Union. But yeah, you know that stuff happens to everyone. But yeah, it's an amazing game. It's really fun, and even if you can't play Tetris Effect, I really still recommend Tetris. If you play one Tetris, you play them all. I'm gonna be honest. If there was one thing bad about Tetris Effect, is that it's still Tetris, and that isn't a bad thing. I will say it again. Being just Tetris isn't a bad thing. And I could talk more about Tetris Effect. It has a lot of other modes. Tetris Effect Connected was the version to make multiplayer online matches better, and it was better. But I didn't have the time to like test it and everything. So I'm sorry for that. So yeah, Tetris Effect is great, and Tetris is great, and puzzle games are great. Just you need to give it a chance. It's amazing. Tetris is available on your web browser. You can play Tetris on your web browser, and you will have a similar experience to what I have with just Tetris. Of course, Tetris Effects has all these wheels and whistles that makes it an amazing game, an amazing experience. Again, I will say that, but Tetris is still Tetris, and it's amazing. So, thank you so much for watching. And if you got to this point, I thank you very much. And I'll see you later.
Thank you for getting to the end. If you liked this video, please give a like, subscribe, and feel free to tell us what else we should talk about down in the comments below, or leave your suggestions on the email address displayed on screen.